So what had the beginnings of a balanced market has quickly shifted since the beginning of this year. So if you're looking to sell or buy in today's market, you'll want to watch this video because I'll cover our local trends as well, what you can expect if you're buying or selling in today's market by the end of the video. And of course, if you're looking for all things real estate for Ventura, then I suggest hitting the subscribe and bell icon for future content. So let's get to it. On the national level, we saw pending sales rise 8.1% from December to January, which was again much stronger than expectations. While January is not known to be a strong housing month, there was actually a considerable increase in activity as interest rates moved lower at the beginning of the year. So here's a 30-year mortgage graph of the interest rate of this past year. You can see we had a steady increase of rates over 2022 with a pullback in January to mid-February as the Fed announced they would look to pause on rate hikes. And as the employment numbers came along in higher with consumer price index also, the market in mid-February responded with interest rates rising, anticipating the Fed raising rates further. Now, just recently we heard Jerome Powell say more aggressive interest rates may be needed to cool inflation. And while mortgage rates are separate from the Fed's short-term rates, we did see the market respond to Powell's comments with mortgage rates hitting 7.03% for the 30-year fixed rate loans, according to Mortgage News Daily. Now, as we move into our spring market, the big headlines are what the Fed is going to do next. There definitely seems to be a tug of war of what is happening with the interest rates currently. With the recent news of two banks failing, we saw the 30-year fix drop down to 6.76%. So the market responded with the fact that the Fed may be forced to keep rates where they're at and prevent further problems with the banking industry, which conjures up memories of the 2008 financial meltdown. Now, the spoiler alert is that this is not 2008 for the housing market. In 2008, we had over 6,000 homes in Ventura County, which was equivalent to 30 months of inventory on the market. Yeah, that's right, 30 months, which means it would take 30 months to reduce the inventory to zero if there was nothing else new coming on the market. And today's inventory is a fraction of that. Approximately 600 homes are on the market currently, which represents under 2 months of inventory. Now, to help better understand some of our local market dynamics, let's do a deeper dive into the months of inventory based on pending sales. Now, the pending sales are what we termed as a leading indicator of what is happening with the current market, whereas closed sales are considered a lagging indicator. So when we look at this graph and the months of inventory increased beginning in March of 2022 and peaks at the end of November 2022, which tell us that the market is actually slowing down. You'll notice that we begin to see the months of inventory decrease steadily from 2.3 to 1.6. So that tells us that the market is actually speeding up or accelerating. Now, as a rule of thumb, 2 months of inventory or less is considered a seller's market. Now, this past month, we've seen the return of multiple offers on some properties, but not to the same extent that we saw in 2021 or 2022 at the beginning. But not to the same extent that we saw in 2021 and the beginning of 2022, where we experienced 10 to 20 offers on any given property. Meanwhile, there's been an interesting pattern between the median sale price and the median sold price since the beginning of 2023. You'll notice that both the for sale and the sold median sale price were actually trending down together until we hit the end of 2022. But the median for sale price reversed direction in January. And by the end of February, we see a big upward swing in the median sale price to $987,000. While the median sold has stayed relatively flat at the $750,000 range for the last couple months. Now, this indicates that prices are on the rise. And oftentimes we will see the median sold mimic the same pattern as the median for sale, approximately 3 months later. So I expect the median sold price to begin to move up more significantly by April. Now, the good news is if you are selling your home, we are definitely seeing a firming up of home sale pricing due to the low inventory levels. So if you are buying a home, you may have to compete with other offers on the table. So we may need to bring back some of those tools that we used back in 2020 to get your offer accepted.